Hi everyone, this is a tutorial on a gratitude journal brought to you by the University for the Creative Arts. I just wanted to quickly run through the purpose of it. So it's celebrating handcraft and taking time out of everyday life, however busy that may be or stressful that may be, and really engaging with an activity that's going to make you feel better. It's going to clear your head. It should be a time for you to experiment with a few different techniques, and you will be creating something that is extremely personal and unique. So I'm just going to have a little flick through for you just so you can have a see. So at the moment, especially, it's quite an uncertain and worrying time for many people. So doing something like this, it's to ground you and make you realise what you can be grateful for, just to keep up the kind of positive spirits. And this is something that there's no pressure to do it every single day, but if you put an entry, think of it kind of like a diary. If you put an entry into this book every day or every couple of days, it's always going to be a constant source of positivity and things that you appreciate and are grateful for. So I think it's a really good activity to be doing. I hope you enjoy it.
My gratitude journal is A6 size. You need to make sure that all the pieces of paper are a similar size, and you can cut and fold and tear the paper in any way that you like. To really celebrate handcraft and create a unique and interesting gratitude journal, it's fun to play around with shape and colour of each page and make some unexpected choices. I'm using a mix of torn paper, hand cut and scissor cut shapes. Another great thing about this journal is that it can be easily recycled because it's made of paper. If you filled it all in and you no longer want to keep it, it does also make something really precious to keep and reflect on. Or when it's empty, you can really easily post it to a loved one who may need cheering up. If your scrap paper isn't all the same size, then just simply draw around a sheet that is the correct size. It doesn't matter if the pages don't look all exactly the same size, as we want the journal to look really handcrafted, and it's great for it to be a bit quirky. I think it's fun to spontaneously draw in some really fluid lines and shapes on some of the pages. Do this in quite a light colour so you can still write over the top of them. This activity is really meant to loosen you up and help you relax and feel inspired. Just listen to the shapes and lines that your hands want to make. Also consider taking some time to decorate the front cover of your book, which we're going to be making later, but this could be drawn, painted or collaged with any of the scrap paper and magazines that we had at the beginning. While you are creating the pages, consider the order that you want to have them in. For my centre page, I'm going to do something really fun, and I've chosen to use a heart motif with the aim to make this page as a way for writing down people that I'm grateful for. Think of other shapes that you may want to include, either smaller rectangles or circles. Again, this makes the book really interesting to go through. You can do as many pages as you like. I did 13 of these sheets, which then obviously fold in half to make 26 pages. Once all of your pages are folded, organise them in order of preference and try and keep each page a different colour or texture if you can. Think about mixing a blank page with a coloured in page, and remember there is no rush with the process. You can take your time with it and enjoy it. For the front cover, I'm going to use a scrap bit of card that I had from another project that I'd screen printed on, but you can use any paper or card you have. Think about the placement of your front cover, and when you're happy with it, draw around it by adding approximately ½ cent around the edge, so it's slightly bigger to ensure that it covers all of the pages. Again, cut this out. This step is really important, and it may vary depending on how big you chose to do your gratitude journal. Open each page flat. Mine is 15 cm tall, so I'm marking 4 cm from the top, 4 cm from the bottom, and I'm also marking halfway on the page too, which is 7.5 cm from the top and the bottom. This set of measurements is my sequence for all the pages so that they will bind neatly together, so mark each page. The next step is pricking a hole through each page. It's a good idea to have some pre-tack or something soft like a sponge to push the needle into to keep your hand and surfaces safe. Using the dots you drew out, pierce the paper with a needle and repeat this for all pages. The next step is to thread your embroidery needle. I've used quite a chunky yarn for this, but you can use something thinner depending on the size of your needle and what you have. Regular embroidery thread is fine. Start by opening your journal and pushing the needle through the central holes in the pages out to the back of the book. Leave approximately 5 cm of thread sticking out and tape this down securely. Next, push the thread through the top hole in the cover of the journal all the way through each page to the top hole in the inside of the journal. Be patient with this process. It can take time and some wiggling of the needle and thread to get it through the thicker pages. Once you've done this, ensure that all the pages feel in line and secure. Have your journal open and push the needle through the bottom hole, which is the one that's 4 cm from the bottom and the only hole without threading at the moment. Your needle and thread should then be coming out the cover of the journal. The next step is a bit tough, as you need to push the needle and thread back through the central hole through all the pages to the middle of the journal. Ensure the needle comes out in the middle and on the other side of where the thread started, so that you have a cross shape of thread, and ensure that it's all nice and tight and taut. Remove the tape and take the needle off and put it safely back in your pin cushion. Tie the loose threads in a knot, and to be extra secure you can do this knot twice and tuck the threads under the bound stitches. Trim off all the excess thread. The next step is to start filling out your journal and writing prompts in the book. You don't have to write on every single page yet, leave some blank for photos or for writing in whatever you feel like in the day. Examples of what I've put in are: today I am grateful for ... I've commented on how grateful I am for the sunshine. I've used the shapes and doodles that I already put in the journal as prompts on how to lay out the page. Other examples of things you can write is listing what makes you happy ... or listing what good things did you do on each day of the week, or perhaps listing what new skills you may have learned. I used the heart page as the focal point to write down the people that I'm grateful for, and I used another page to write down my goals. The overall aim of this gratitude journal is to note down positivity and appreciation. The University for the Creative Arts really hopes that you enjoyed the process of making the whole journal and also filling it in.